This video is brought to you by StoneAgeGamer.com. It's where you can pick up cool items like the Power-Base Mini Converter. It's where you can play Sega Master System games on your Sega Genesis. So be sure to check out StoneAgeGamer.com. Link below. Hey guys, how's it going? This is John with Gamester81.com. This episode I'll be reviewing the brand new ColecoVision Flashback by Allgengamers. This comes out October 2014, although I've heard you can actually find these in some select markets. I know California, Toys R Us are starting to get these in the stock, so keep your eyes open for these. This retails for $40 US. You get 60 built-in games, which I think the value is pretty incredible. And what this is, for those who don't know Flashback systems, this is basically a plug-and-play system that allows you to play classic ColecoVision games. But what's cool about this one, there's actually 12 homebrew games included in this. Now, in total, ColecoVision has about 145 original games released in this library when it first came out, plus a ton of other homebrew games that are really actually pretty big right now and very popular in the ColecoVision community. Personally, for those who know me, you probably know that the ColecoVision is my favorite system of all time. It's my first system I ever played, so I'm really excited that this thing actually came out. I hope it really breathes new life into this console because, in my personal opinion, it's probably the most overlooked, underrated system of all time. And IGN gave a lot of respect as well, ranking it the 12th best system of their top 25 systems in 2009. So IGN thinks it's great. I think it's great. Definitely check out ColecoVision. It's a really incredible system, and you can get it cheap for 40 bucks. It is a lot smaller than the original ColecoVision. It doesn't play any carts. So I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to show you some gameplay. We'll go from there. Thanks for watching. So here is the system itself. And Allgengamers, who actually produced this, has released similar systems for the Atari 2600 called the Atari Flashback. They released 4 models, soon to be 5, coming out also in October. They've also are going to release an Intellivision one. They've released a Sega Genesis one as well. It plays Sega Genesis games. But yeah, pretty cool. It's got the Venture logo here, and there are 2 exclusive versions to look out for. Dollar Tree is going to carry this, and Dollar Tree has an extra game, so it has 61 games, and that is Antarctic Adventure, so keep an eye out for that. And Sam's Club's version will have also 60 games, so no extra games, but it'll have more overlays. So this comes with 4 overlays for 4 different games, and the Sam's Club version will have more than just 4. I'm not quite sure how many, but those will both, I think, retail for $40 as well. So, list some really popular games up in front. Here is the side. Look at the controller. It's got 4 overlays. You need the overlays for some commands for certain games. And here is the list of games on the back. So 12 homebrew games. So it has Princess Quest, which plays very similar to Ghosts and Goblins, but it's very, very different. You have Mecha 8, Module Man. Those are homebrew games, but you have some classic ones like Montezuma's Revenge, Jungle Hunt. You have Heist. Now other games came out for the Coleco that were like Donkey Kong, and Sega released some games as well. I don't see any of those on here, probably for licenses reasons, but I imagine that ColecoVision Flashback 2 and other future versions of this will probably have more games. So considering that this comes with about 48 original games, that's about a third of the original library of ColecoVision games. So for 40 bucks, it's a pretty good deal. Now, this will not play carts, unfortunately, so keep that in mind, which is kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't play carts. Let's go ahead and open this up. And for those who don't know, Coleco actually stands for Connecticut Leather Company. It started in Connecticut making leather back in the early 1900s, and they've made other things and furniture and stuff like that. And they made Cabbage Patch Kids back in the 80s, if you guys remember those. So they made toys, and they made Pong clones, got into ColecoVision, and really gave Atari its run for the money. Here is the instruction manual, how to hook it up, how to install overlays, all kind of very self-explanatory. Still nice to have. You have your AC adapter, which is much smaller than the original ColecoVision AC adapter, which is nice, trust me. These are the overlays that go into the controllers. Great to have. And they actually feel like the original overlays, which is neat. So you have Blackjack Poker, this is Fortune Builder, the Dam Busters, and War Room. Now the original ColecoVision carts, actually you could actually put these in the back and hold them, which is nice. Here is the controller. One Achilles heel for the ColecoVision itself. One thing I don't like you get the controller, how it feels. This has a kind of unique feel as well, but the joystick is kind of sketchy. But you have all these buttons here. This is weird. It doesn't feel like you're hitting these. They're kind of soft. A lot different feel from the original ColecoVision controller, but still very cool. Here are action buttons here. Okay. And this is the system itself. Very lightweight, actually. You have two 9-pin controller ports, so you can actually technically put in a Sega Genesis controller and use those and stuff like that. Back in the day anyway. I'm not sure if that will work on this. Reset, power button, and that's pretty much it. That's all you really need. Oh, and here is where your AC adapter plugs into on the side here. Very, very lightweight. Let me compare this to a size of an actual normal size ColecoVision. This is actually my own, very own original ColecoVision. First console I ever owned. I still have it. And this is it. So you can compare the size. It's, you know, really quite a bit smaller, maybe a fourth the size or even smaller than that. Much lighter. Doesn't play any cards, doesn't have the expansion module or anything like that. And this is the controller. So this is the original ColecoVision controller. And this is the new Flashback controller. You can see it's slightly smaller. It's about the same width, but a little shorter. Let's plug this bad boy in and check it out. So when I turn it on, here's a menu. And it's kind of strange because to get to the different games, you have to page left and right, but you have to go up and down to select your game. You'll see what I mean when you play it initially. It's not a huge deal, but it's definitely kind of an odd control there to do that. But the first game I'm going to show you is Jungle Hunt. This actually was ported by Atari, but produced and developed, published in the arcades by Taito. It actually was initially called Jungle King. It looked like Tarzan. They got sued and they got in trouble, so they changed it to Jungle Hunt and they made it more of a safari guy. But this is a great port to the arcade. It really is probably the best home port you'll find. This is a homebrew. It's called Mecha 8 by Pixel Boy Games. This actually utilizes, in order to play this on the original ColecoVision console, you need what they call a Super Game Module, which came out a little while ago, a couple years ago, which connects into the expansion module up front in front of the system, and uses more CPU and RAM. And I just want to show you this because really the graphically are really impressive. They're a little less than the NES, but definitely a lot better than the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, and other systems at the time. It's very comparable and comparable to the MSX computers, as well as the SG-1000 system by Sega in Japan. So in fact, same chips set and everything, so pretty easy to port over to multiple consoles there. This is Zaxxon. I said earlier in the video that there were no Sega games on here. I was mistaken. This is by Sega. This is another great shooter, another great arcade isometric shooter. You can see that this is really a great arcade port. Probably the best at the time you'll see, and this is true with a lot of the ColecoVision games you'll see, is a lot of great ColecoVision arcade ports. If you're a big arcade person, the ColecoVision is definitely a system you should check out. One thing I was really disappointed in is that the controllers are not compatible with the original ColecoVision and vice versa. So ColecoVision controllers will not work on this. They mapped it wrong. I think it was something that maybe they did by mistake or unintentionally, but it just doesn't work, unfortunately. So here's another homebrew game. This is also by Team Pixel Boy, and this is called Princess Quest. Kind of similar to, kind of themed by after, obviously, Ghosts and Goblins, but very, very different, very challenging game. I'm actually working with ColecoVision Games right now, and we're going to port this over to the Intellivision coming out soon. Really challenging. There's just people come all different directions. One thing I like about the Flashback that the original ColecoVision did not have is an indicator light. So there is a red indicator light that turns on, but there's obviously no expansion module on here or anything like that, so you can't use a power wheel or anything like that, unfortunately. Hey guys, so before I share my conclusion on what I think about the ColecoVision Flashback, I want to show you how these overlays go into the controller. So they basically just slide in like so. Very easy, bam, like this, and there's a tab here, and they just pull out like so. So it comes with 6 for 3 different games, so 2 for each game, 2 for each controller, of course. But overall, what do I think about the ColecoVision Flashback? I think it's a really good purchase for $40 considering you get 60 games. I'm just really disappointed actually that the controller is not compatible with the original ColecoVision and vice versa. So you can't use a ColecoVision controller on this, and you can't use this on a ColecoVision original system anyway. That's weird. They mapped it different. Hopefully they address that in the version 2. I like that it's compact, it's portable. I wish it could play cards. I think that'd be really cool. But I'm really curious to see what games they'll release for other versions. Hopefully they'll release other versions of the ColecoVision Flashback. I encourage you guys to definitely check it out. Hopefully you guys will give it a nice shot because it is really a great system. Guys, if you want to stay in touch, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as my website, Gamester81.com. I'll put links below. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Happy gaming.